Boulder's top stories this week. The Boulder Fire Department gives safety tips following the driest March in over a century. Boulder's Energy Future project kicks off an educational speaker series. And Open Space and Mountain Parks welcomes the season with a variety of spring events.
Welcome to Inside Boulder, featuring topics and stories that impact the community of Boulder, with Patrick von Kaiserling and Jennifer Bray. And on the news desk, Natalie Wood and Mike Benuelos bring you the stories making headlines in the community this week. Inside Boulder News starts now.
Welcome to the new look of Inside Boulder News. I'm Natalie Wood. The recent rain and snow brought our state some much-needed moisture, but not enough to counteract the high fire danger stemming from Boulder's driest March since 1910. The Lower North Fork fire in Jefferson County is an example of how these dry conditions can rapidly fuel blazing flames. In the wake of Boulder's dry conditions and recent fire bans, I talked to Boulder fire officials about what residents can do to mitigate fire danger in their own backyard. March and April are usually the wettest months of the year in Boulder, but 2012 has been an exception. After experiencing the driest March on record for over 100 years, Boulder fire officials are concerned that fire season may begin early.
It all depends on the moisture level that we get here in April and May. If the spring showers don't show up, then absolutely it will come into a real early fire season in June, and it'll continue into the fall.
Whether you live in Boulder's urban interface or in town, there are steps you can take to help mitigate fires in these dry conditions. Watering and mowing your lawn is a great place to start.
Things that homeowners can do is get rid of all this stuff, all this dead dry material in all these plants. If you can remove it, trim it, move it back, that'll definitely help things out quite a bit. And removing what we call ladder fuels, where you see is this plant ladders up into the tree, and that creates a path for fire to travel from the grass to the shrub up into the canopies. So anytime you can trim that stuff out, limb the trees up to about head high, so if there is a low intensity fire, it doesn't get into the trees and create a higher intensity crown fire.
Taking those steps can help prevent fires, but officials also want residents to have a plan set up in case a fire does occur. Fire safety educator Kim Scott suggests family members designate a place to meet in case cell phone towers go down. She also advises residents to pay attention to alerts.
Be aware of your situation at all times. I think, as with the Lower Fork fire last week, we saw some families and citizens that really were driving through fire to get out, and we don't want to see anyone in that situation. If you are asked to evacuate, please be able and ready to do that. If you're asked to stay put so we can get emergency vehicles in and out of the area, please listen to that as well.
Officials also strongly suggest signing up for emergency information alerts at boulderoem.com and tuning into local TV and radio stations during an emergency for evacuation and other safety information. From fires to floods, spring is a time of year when Boulder experiences extreme weather. Flood season lasts from April to September, which is the period of time when flooding potential is at its greatest. Since the city sits at the mouth of Boulder Canyon and has a high number of people who live, work, and play in the Boulder Creek floodplain, Boulder has a greater potential for loss of life from flash flooding than any other community in Colorado. Here's what residents can do to stay safe this flood season.
As a result of the 2010 fire in 4 Mile Canyon, there is going to be an increased flood risk to Boulder, particularly Boulder Creek and 4 Mile Canyon Creek and the drainage basins in this area. It can happen in a flash. It's important that people stay away from the creek during a flood event because floodwaters can rise very rapidly. It's not gradual as in other places in the country, and it can happen within a matter of minutes. So definitely use caution near the creeks and avoid it during flood events. You can prepare a flood action plan and find out where the safe routes to evacuate are, and we always recommend preparing that plan in advance and knowing where to go.
Be sure to check out boulderfloodinfo.net for more flood preparedness tips and to see a map of Boulder's floodplain. Boulder is well on its way to exploring different options for our town's energy future, and the City of Boulder is launching a spring speaker series to help inform residents and business leaders about issues surrounding climate change and energy. The city is partnering with community organizations to host guest lecturers that highlight topics related to the goals, opportunities, and challenges of Boulder's energy future. Inside Boulder News talked to Kristen Hartel of the Local Environmental Action Division about how the 2012 speaker series can help the community better understand Boulder's energy future options.
We're the first community to really host a series around engaging and informing our community so they can become more involved in the process. One of the huge strengths about Boulder efforts is that we have such a huge priority on community engagement, and this really provides the opportunity to bring residents up to speed with a lot of the different options that we face in our community in order to be able to be more involved and well-versed in these issues, and a lot of other communities don't face the same efforts as we do. This series really covers a broad array of topics, everything from communicating climate change to community resiliency to innovative technologies available to municipal utilities, so it really helps individuals who haven't been involved get plugged in wherever interests them most. And it also provides opportunities to become more well-versed in energy options related to our energy future and also other involvement opportunities.
For more information about the speaker series, as well as other involvement opportunities like walk-in Wednesdays and public meetings hosted by the Environmental Advisory Board, visit boulderinnergyfuture.com. Spring is a beautiful time of year in Boulder, and the city's open space and mountain parks is offering a variety of programs for the public to enjoy the outdoors. Kids and adults are welcome to participate in OSMP's fun and free events, which include nature hikes, fishing, and walks in the moonlight. Here's more on the many activities available to explore Boulder's open space.
Boulder's awesome because we've got 45,000 acres of city open space right out your back door, and it's free and you can go there anytime you want. It's not only is it a great place to go hiking or go running or go biking or climbing or whatever, take your dog, it's also just a great place to learn about nature. It's one of the best natural laboratories and classrooms I have ever worked at in a long career. It is such a great place to come and go on a hike, and the naturalists will help you learn about whatever topic it is that we have selected for that day. So if you're a wildflower geek and you want to learn more about wildflowers, come on a wildflower hike. If you're a rock geek and you want to learn about rocks, come on a geology hike or a butterfly hike or whatever. Just watch the schedule and see if you find something turning up there that matches your interest level.
You can also enjoy the beautiful outdoors this spring by biking with B-Cycle in Boulder or Denver instead of driving. The popular bike share program created a system called Be Connected, which allows annual members in Boulder and Denver to check out bikes in either city at no extra charge. Boulder B-Cycle member cards now work at Denver B-Cycle stations and vice versa. The program had a successful 3-week test run, enabling the reciprocal membership program to roll full speed ahead. Be Connected enables more people to commute between Boulder and Denver via transit and leave their cars at home. People interested in becoming members of B-Cycle still need to join the program in the city in which they live or work. That's all the time we have for this week. You can connect with Inside Boulder News on Facebook by submitting news tips and questions. We'd also love to hear your feedback on our new background and graphics. Just search for City of Boulder Channel 8. I'm Natalie Wood. Thanks for watching, and stick around for more Inside Boulder next.